This episode of Chicago's Bravest Stories is brought to you by Sports and Ortho Physical Therapy. Corey, you want to add to that?
Oh, I could.
You can.
That's how you start off. You say one sentence. That's how you start off. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep that. That's All right, now I know.
All right, that was what. Thanks for tuning in. That was brought to you by Sports
she's
and
great.
Ortho.
Visit the website. Google it. I don't know.
All right, take two. This episode of Chicago's Bravest Stories is brought to you by Sports and Ortho Physical Therapy. Today with us is Dahlia Fahmy from Sports and Ortho Physical Therapy.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, Dahlia.
Hi.
So I was looking over. You guys have some cool stuff you're working with over there. What kind of equipment do you guys use at Sports and Ortho that's different than the other places?
Well, I figured if I'm going to rehab some firefighters and police officers, we better have things that they use. So we actually have drag dummies. We've got stretchers. I've got my own fire engine on the south side. We've got some ladders and some hoses and a couple of punching bags.
Yeah. So, you hear that, Vince? They've even got a couple Steve over there. Oh, I can't say his last name. They've even got a couple Steves over there.
We got a couple Steves.
And looking over, like your staff over there is trained incredibly.
Yeah, we really, really highly train our staff to know how the body moves in motion. So we just, spend a lot of money training them, making sure that they're well trained to take care of all the patients that we have, but especially those fire and police officers that we treat.
Well, Dahlia, I know that you guys have been around for 17 years, and we talked that you got your start with your first actual patient was a Chicago fireman.
Yeah.
We want to let everybody know that if you come to Sports and Ortho Physical Therapy, it is covered by our city program for rehabilitation.
Absolutely. Yep. We'd love to have everybody come see us.
Awesome. Dahlia, you guys have 7 locations. Where can people find you guys at?
Well, they can look us up at sportsandortho.net. All our locations are listed there. That's probably the best way to find us.
Go check out Dahlia over there. Sportsandortho.net.
Engine 1, Engine 4, Truck 2, Truck 10. Ambulance 82, Battalion 2. Fire 1020 North Main. Help is on the way.
Welcome back to Chicago's Bravest Stories. Paramedic Award of Valor for an act of outstanding bravery or heroism while demonstrating personal courage above and beyond the call of duty under adverse conditions with the possibility of extreme risk. PIC Francisco Chavez and his partner FPM Christopher Oswalt were dispatched to 1224 South Lawndale for a battery victim. The scene was immediately chaotic as the address was incorrect, and the Chicago police were directing paramedics to 1306 South Lawndale for a psychiatric patient who was escalating. On scene, the pair were unable to enter the building as a male is yelling, throwing things down a third-story window, and is spitting at the police. When the officer was speaking to the crew, the male opened fire from the third-floor window towards the police. The crew called for a 10-1 and informed the alarm office that the police were being shot at. FPM Oswalt positioned the ambulance for CPD officers to take cover on the driver's side of the ambulance. There was an additional officer taking cover at the front of the ambulance. Shots were raining down toward the passenger side of the ambulance where PIC Chavez was sitting. FPM Oswalt helped his partner, PIC Chavez, to slide close to him, away from the passenger door. When the shooting stopped, a CPD officer directed Ambulance 77 off the scene to stage at Douglas and Lawndale. Police began arriving in response to the 10-1, and it was then that Chavez and Oswalt were informed a policeman had been shot. They directed the officer with the crew from Engine 38 and transporting him trauma bypass. The CPD sergeant informed 457 that had it not been for this crew providing cover and safety for those officers, he feels certain there would have been more injuries on this scene. That was a citation that was issued to these two paramedics with the Chicago Fire Department, and we are honored to have these two sitting here in the studio today.
Yeah, we got these two guys from the Fallujah Fire Department here.
So that
God damn.
we have here Chris Oswalt and Frankie Chavez, and you guys are no longer partners because the quitter Oswalt over here, he crossed over, left you high and dry, huh, Frankie?
Yeah, crossed over. The city owed me naps.
Yeah. Well, you're getting them. You got to be breaking even by now, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Let's put that aside for right now, and we'll come back to that. But I met you guys both when you guys first came on. I know you, Frankie, came from you were on the contract, right? And you came from another suburb.
That's correct.
Was that your first job in EMS?
No, actually, I started at Lifeline Ambulance back in 2008 when I was an EMT. Then I went over to medic school in 2010, and then in 2012 I got picked up on a contract in Melrose Park, and 2014 I got the call here for the city.
So how long were you in Melrose Park before you got the call?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first fire service job.
Had you had any call like the call we just discussed in Melrose Park? Anything similar, or has nerve-wracking as that run?
No, I mean, I saw some things. I mean, it was awesome, to learn the firehouse etiquette. My first year there in Melrose Park, I did see some things, got used to, what the fire service is like and stuff like that. But no, man, this one's for the books.
Yeah.
I mean, the shooting at the ambulance, that's gonna set you apart. Right
Yeah.
there a little bit.
On your side.
Not too often happens that they're actively shooting at the ambulance.
And the food wasn't bad over there, right?
Probably the best thing over there. Manja.
Oh, those guys.
What about you, Chris? Where'd you get your start?
I started back in Michigan. I went through a medic program there and did my time on the privates and a small paid-on-call department. And then hopped across the lake in 2010.
So did you put your name on the list here in Chicago while you were still in Michigan?
No, I got lucky. My timing is everything. I moved here, and about 3 months later, that list opened up.
Jesus.
So, and then
There's people listening to this podcast that want to kick your ass right now.
I know, and I didn't know if it was going to happen. I was testing in the burbs and landing in about the middle of lists everywhere you go. And so I started nursing school as kind of a
Oh, no good.
a
Like a
fallback.
plan.
Yeah. And then 4 short years later, the city called. So
Wow.
yeah, I got on in 14.
When you came on as a medic, did you want to cross over at that point? Did you come on to cross over, or you
Yeah.
hadn't even crossed your mind yet
Yeah, no, my goal the whole time was to
to cross over?
be a fireman. It was kind of the driving force behind getting the medic license.
Oh,
Were you a
really?
relatively young guy when you put your name on the list, or?
He's a relative young guy now.
Yeah, I'm
I was just
I mean,
saying.
he waited for 3 months.
It's so hard to gauge it because I just look terrible. Just a lot of hard years, a lot of hard years. And so I look at guys, I'm like, I don't want to just, like Frankie, I remember, like, again, after we talked a little bit now, I'm like, oh man, I remember Frankie. I'm like, this baby face motherfucker right here. I'm like, I remember you looked like you were 16 when I met you, and now you look like you're like 17. You're beautiful, Frank.
The
You
life
were
of a
beautiful
Chicago
man.
paramedic, man.
Right.
Hard years, hard time.
We go to dinner with my wife, and this is a little off subject.
dude.
But we were sitting at the dinner table. We go out to have nice dinner and stuff like that. And I'm fucking scarfing my food all the time. And she's like, "Why are you in a rush?" And I said, "Baby, that's the life of a paramedic in the city of Chicago."
Listen, I'm in prison every 4 days, and I eat like just growling with your elbows out while you're sitting at the table, like a real nice dinner that you're paying $100 a
Yeah.
plate for. You
Yeah,
you got your elbows out like somebody's gonna beat the shit out of you and
Well,
take your pudding.
one of the things about being a single roll is not just like how fast you, but in the order in which you eat. You don't eat your salad first.
No,
That's fair.
The salad, if you get to it, it's
a bonus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
But you get to the entree, the main course, and if you manage to get that in, that's a bonus too. Maybe you have time for the salad, but you definitely don't start with the salad because you're not making it to the main course.
I eat standing up at the firehouse. I eat it on the counter.
So, yeah?
Yeah.
So, question for the forum. As a medic, what would you say your percentage is of getting through a full meal?
Ooh, I mean,
you guys are all work pretty much in the same
December
neighborhood, right?
or is this August?
Oh.
There's a difference. August, 0%.
Yeah.
0%. December, 80.
I pick up my fork 50% of the time.
Well, I know that like guys like Frankie and most of the guys at my firehouse, the medics, they don't go for dishes. They automatically eat their dinner in a to-go container. That way it's eat faster, so they don't have to transport.
They don't even set the plate out.
Well, they set the plates out, but
Sure.
you go in and you just grab your to-go and you shovel it onto your to-go.
Just old country buffet, that motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't want to set the precedent that you're not gonna make it.
Right.
You always want to set the table for
moment
it,
you take
the
that
fork,
plate out,
the
you
knife,
sit
set
down
it.
and get
Yeah,
comfortable, like
that's the goal, but rarely happens. It's so nice when it does to have that meal. Steve's here, everybody.
Brought the Tower of Power.
And he
Are we
brought
videotaping?
so many cases of beer.
I'll tell you what, Dan Trader, like this guy, peanut butter pony right here.
Well, I have a new best friend.
So, hey, grab the microphone and tell us
Come on,
all about
Steve,
this
hop in.
beer.
Here.
Because we got to give a shout out to this gentleman.
All right, sorry I'm late, everybody. But I was busy with my new best friend, Brian. Brian is from Illuminated Brew Works in the Norwood Park neighborhood over on 6100 block of Northwest Highway. New sponsor for the podcast, and he has filled our studio with craft beer.
Jeez, look at that. So
Wonderful
what is
craft
all this
beer.
stuff we got?
We got lagers. We got peanut butter beer. We got this special one, the astronaut juice. You had to special order yesterday. We got a pina colada beer in here. Some of it's like 13%.
Well, we're gonna at the break. We're gonna crack those open. So, we're gonna get our money's worth out of this sponsor here.
And like I said, Brian's my new best friend. heavy breathing.
Yes. So, Steve.
Hey, what'd I miss?
Chris Oswald, Francisco
Hey,
Chavez.
Chris. I know Francisco.
Yeah.
We go back.
That's right. No,
Back to
you
the
don't.
little village days.
That's right.
He said he asked if you were still at 99.
I am not. I had to leave after what he used to do in the bathroom. over
Yeah, that's unfortunate what he used to do to you.
That's why he took the promotion so he can get his own bathroom.
there. Yeah. Smart move.
Fuck, they're on top of each other there at 99. I think it's got to be the most uncomfortable firehouse in the city.
When it was like I used to, TMI. It was like pooping in the jungle, because it was 100 degrees in the bathroom at all times, and then you would just get attacked by flies when you sat down.
Sounds terrific.
We might be editing that out. Were you guys doing something serious before I got here? Or?
No, we were just
okay.
The life and times of Francisco Chavez and Chris Oswald. That's all. Nothing crazy.
Nothing important.
I'm just enamored by this tower of beer.
Yeah. So before the beer interrupted us, I think Chris was talking to us about he waited 3 long months to get on the fire department.
Oh,
from
Oh,
Michigan.
no.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No.
Three months to get on the list.
You move over and then the list opened up.
Oh, okay. And so okay, all right. So try to redeem yourself here, because you're not going to do it. You get here 3 months later, the list opens up, and then how long before you get into the academy?
4 years.
4 years. You're lying.
No, it was. I think the list opened up in 2010. I got on in December of 14.
All right. Now I don't feel so.
No, there was.
You
there was
waited
waiting.
your
there
minimum
was
40.
waiting, and then and just like everybody else, doing all the terrible jobs that medics can do while you wait.
Where you attack and
Yeah.
do all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you do any of those goofy jobs?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was I was a tech at Westlake Hospital.
Oh man.
They were happy to see you go.
Yeah, I was. Yep, that's right, man.
That'll get edited out.
Shut it down. They closed down that hospital, man.
I thought they were going to open it back up. Wasn't there talk that they were going to open
They
it
got
back?
some buyer. There's stipulations. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so Chris gets on. Like, you were in Delta. Were you in Charlie or Bravo?
I was in Bravo.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got some time on.
That's right. Get some TOJ, Chris.
Hey, Vince, how about the listeners? What's Charlie, Delta, Bravo? What is all that?
Back in the day, they were called alphabet classes because Brian Woznicki was in the alpha class. So there was kind of a lull in the hiring for the single roles, and when they started up again, they started naming them Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Brian who was a previous guest on this podcast, was in the Alpha, and then Frankie's class was next. There was another class, and then Chris's class, and it was just back to back. I think Alpha probably had the longest class. I think theirs was the whole 6, or they had the shortest class. Theirs was like 6 weeks. I mean, how long was yours? 6?
About 7, 8 weeks. Yeah, right behind them.
You had the longest one,
We
right?
made it like 10 or 11.
Yeah. So they were in such a rush to get these guys out because we were so short that Alpha, they had a short class, and they started putting more guys on the street. They kind of spent more time with these guys, but there was a point in time where it was like, get these guys out on the street. We were so short on paramedics. But I remember you guys. You guys were, I'm definitely not gonna shit on any other classes, but you guys had a rough academy. Like, your jobs were at stake all the time, and you guys had the PFT to deal with. You had the lifting and moving test to deal with. You guys had to pass those, or you were done.
Yeah.
Your jobs were always at risk.
Yeah.
So, like, that was rough.
It was, man. But you know what? We've had this conversation too, Vinny. Vinny was one of my instructors when I was in the academy.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, it was no joke, man. And now reflecting, going back and thinking about it, I mean, like, it helped out. It really did. We cut off the BS, and we had to learn what we had to learn, and nothing was given to you. We had hard instructors. They were hard on us, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it paid off.
When you have an academy, we have like guys like you that, everybody that comes in there is already a paramedic, but there is a learning curve because you're coming from the suburbs. Where'd you come? Were you coming straight from like doing tech work and stuff like that? Privates?
Yeah.
So there has to be a little bit of education involved because it's a lot different, like going from a private to now you're 911. Like, you're the first one at the door, and there's a lot of learning, like doing the system entry, doing all that stuff so that you're capable of working in Chicago, and the rest is like departmental stuff. But I think the group of instructors that you guys had, they were like you said, they were tough, but they were all fair.
Yep.
I thought that everybody was fair, but when you guys had to contend with those the lifting and moving and the physical fitness test, like, so did we. Like, that's hard on us too, because especially by the time you guys get to the end where you guys have to pass it or you go, like, I've already got to know you guys. I'm invested in you guys. We've already started building a front, and then I'm like, I got to tell you guys, like, you guys just got fired. Like, that's rough. And then you manage to get through, you get your classes through, and then you start all over again. Because the classes were coming right on the heels of the class before.
Yeah.
So it was, that period of time was rough. And, now that I get to work with you guys and I see you guys all the time, and it's awesome. And I like working with the guys who came through those classes, because I already know, like, you guys went through a hard academy, and there's nothing really like, what can we do to you guys? Outside of, put you guys in the line of fire on a run that you guys are going for. What was the initial run for?
Domestic.
A battery.
A battery. Yeah, a battery.
victim.
Next thing you know, bullets are flying.
They didn't tell us it was going to be for us.
Well,
Can we, before we dig into that, can you guys tell me what a game face Vince looks like?
Yeah, show us your game
Because
face.
this guy,
I don't have a game. I wasn't the game face guy.
Is he different than he is right now?
No, that's about it.
Don't you dare.
That was it.
That's about
I
it.
swear to Christ.
Don't you fucking, No, it was great, and then almost as great as their academy party after. I mean, I kind of remember that you guys had a party, and what people don't understand about the parties, and I'll let you in on a little secret. All former instructors and people who have gone down to the academy before, and for the people listening, after you graduate, you guys get together, you throw a party for your academy class and instructors and family, and it's like all that nonsense is over and it's time to get weird, right? And when at the party, it's time, like there are people in that academy that you've just spent a couple months with that have never been with you socially, don't really know you that well, and now everybody wants to have a shot with you. Hey, I want to have a shot, have a shot with me. And you can't say no. So if you got 30 guys in the class, guess what? You're doing at minimum 30 shots. So it's it's a rough night, but it's fun. I was just I had lunch today with one of your classmates, Sniff, and you guys, he had an interesting end of his night. After your party, remember? He woke up with like whipped cream in his ass or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
His wife set him up.
Yes.
Yeah, his wife set him up for his other classmates to really mess with him, which was hilarious. But enough about him. So Chris comes out of being attacked. You go to the academy. Frankie goes to the academy. They wind up. Now, how did you wind up getting 30 or 77? Did you how long you were relieving? You came on as an FPM, and where did you go from there?
I was at 99's house for over 5 years.
Okay.
I was an FPM on 67 there, and I took the promotion last year in January, and so I was relieving for about 3 months. And the spot that I have is former ML 77 alumni Stephen Gutzmer. That was Gutzmer's spot. So spot was open, but you couldn't put in for it because Gutzmer
was holding it.
Yeah. So finally, Guts let go of the spot, and it's just like everything, Vinny. It's all about timing, man.
Yeah.
I took the promotion. Gutzmer finally got assigned, I guess, to the Mark division, and I said, you know what, I want that spot, and I relieved for about 3 months until the order came out. And I
and
put
the
in.
entire shift said you can have it.
That's it. There was a vote.
You didn't get too much resistance for getting.
No, there was.
Yeah.
Ask Chris. Yeah, there was some people chomping at the bid.
There
Yeah.
were. It was a fierce.
So wait, when you went there, that was right when it first. Were you one of the first people to put that ambulance in service?
No, it had already been.
That
up
was
for-
us.
Okay.
And it's
you
funny
you were
because,
there for the first one.
when that order came out, when we all got those spots, those were guys that had 4 and 5 years or more, which is kind of crazy for knowing where that was going to be and
Yeah.
what that ambulance was going to do.
Just to give people a frame of reference, how many runs you guys do in a day down there?
I mean,
'Cause you
20 to
guys
30.
You guys are in the city's west side, and you were like right on basically the border of the west side and the south side at the same time. You guys are picking up. So Ambulance 10 is arguably one of the busiest in the country. Their numbers always come up in the top 5 in the entire country, and you guys are just south of them.
I was going to say until 77 went in service.
Yeah.
there are
You know?
neighbors to the north. I mean,
Yeah.
2020 we were number 3 busiest in the city.
Yeah.
10, 15, and then 77. And right behind us, 23, and I guess 64 was number 5, all west side.
And I think 14 is in there somewhere.
Top 10.
But I mean, you're right in the heart of all the busiest ambulances. So you guys aren't sitting around. You guys aren't slow. And when that ambulance got put in service in that particular area, we thought for sure that would slow everybody else down, and all it did was give you guys the opportunity to take even more runs in the west side.
Yeah.
Instead of taking less runs from other people, like you just gave the city the ability to respond with another ambulance.
Well,
Yeah.
the union did like not like a study, but they just kind of collected the numbers, and I forgot what the time frame was. But it was over the summer when the new ambulances, after the new ambulance had been put in service, and they were basically like, it didn't touch anybody's runs. They added 5 additional ambulances. Nobody's runs got touched. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't know how there was never an ambulance there.
yeah,
I mean, 38 was the busiest engine for years. I mean, they were always top one. Now
Right.
they've slowed down, and now the guys on the truck they're chasing us. The truck's busy now. They're at that house.
Well, when 77 came into service, the guys from 38 were trying to like recruit for the ambulances there, and they were making outrageous claims. They're like, if you guys come here, both the FPM and the PIC, so the paramedic in charge and the fire paramedic, they're like, we'll give you both your own rooms. We'll kick the engineer out. We'll give you both the rooms. We'll put in a spa.
Those are all lies, man. Because
no house
when I put
stews.
in, when I put in for that spot, I was told no house stews, no club.
Right?
They make me breakfast every day in the morning. That lieutenant that told me he'd make me breakfast every day, Marty, on the 3rd shift, laid up right afterwards. Hasn't been back since.
Right. I mean, I was offered massages on my shift. They were up in their game.
It's a good group of guys there, man.
Yeah.
who was making these promises? Big Country?
So, I think it was
it Big Country?
it was Ricky Kalen.
Oh, wow.
Nah, man.
There you go.
Those guys at my house, man, amazing group of guys.
I would have gone there just
send
to-
a shout
just
out
to
to all
work
of them,
with
man.
Ricky, so.
Yeah, everyone at third and on the engine, the truck, great group of dudes, man. Great house. You know, we're busy as hell. They get it. Everyone gets it. It's a working house. You know, we all get in, get it done, and
So, how long were you at Melrose again? Tell me again before you came to the city.
I got my medic license in 2010, and I was a paramedic on the privates, and in 2012, at the end of 2012, I got on the contract in Melrose, so I was there up until when I came on the job in 2014 as well. That's when I left Melrose, so a little bit over a year.
Okay.
I was there at Melrose on the contract.
Do you think that Melrose kind of did Melrose prepare you for what you were going to experience in the city?
Yeah. It's as far as like, I mean, like, you know, the firehouse etiquette. It's real important. You know, like learning the fire service. You know, like you're the new guy. I learned all that stuff there. You know, the new guy got to help clean. You know, gotta get up and do dishes, stuff like that. I can't just go and feed myself.
Well, yeah, for people who've never been in the fire service, you have no idea. Like,
Right.
you don't know when to get up. You don't know what to do. But
Right.
when I came on, like, I had, like, really good old-timers that were like, hey, this is what you're going to need to do. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me, because I would have just sat here until somebody told me what to do. Like, I didn't know.
You wouldn't know. Like now, it's a huge cultural change. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on the privates, you're sitting in the rig all day.
Yeah.
And there in Melrose, you know, the guys would train, do some kind of training or clean up. You're laughing over there.
Well, some of us aren't 4th generation there, Steven.
That wasn't me chuckling. That was the other guy
That was Corey?
who knows some guys.
Thank you for not presenting my ring.
Yeah. That wasn't me.
Okay. No, I wasn't. I'm not.
It was the fucking lieutenant sitting
Yeah, the
behind me.
lieutenant. It's always the
We'll come
lieutenant.
back to it. I want
Yeah.
to talk about that because that's
Oh, you do?
get in my section.
Okay. All right. And I can't imagine that Michigan is anywhere like Chicago. Like, was it a culture shock for you working in Michigan, or were you like Detroit type stuff?
Flint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did EMS in Flint for a while. So, yeah,
What the fuck?
the privates run the
Flint's the only place
911.
that's worse than Detroit and Michigan.
Yeah.
Do you have lead poisoning?
No, not anymore.
Okay. You got like, after Vince PT'd you,
Yeah,
it
that's
leached your
it.
system. Right?
Well, I don't know if you remember. I'll share a story. Because
we're all about stories.
Anywhere you go, I mean, they can't really prepare you for this job because Chicago's got its own way of doing things, and the quicker you're able to learn that, the easier you're able to work with others on the job. So kind of the academy is a good ego check for a lot of those people. Like, we know you're competent paramedics, but there are ways in which we do things here, and they're done for a specific reason, and it's for the ease of the job so that we can all go home and not be just broken with blown out backs and knees and shoulders and things like that, or just mentally fried. You came out of the academy instructing after my class, and I did 1 day as of my 30-day detail without you, and then I got assigned to your ambulance for my 30-day detail. And
that was fun, right?
That was a trip. That was a trip. And I can't remember what part of the day it was, day one. And essentially came to, are you ready for this? And I look at you and I said, well, I'm only as good as you made me. So
he put it on me.
there we go.
As you should.
Yeah. And, we got through the day, and they had a lot of fun up there. It's part of why I put back in when I was able to come back to the west side. It took some time because a lot of people out there want to be out there, and it's not just as busy as it is.
As busy as the west side is, people, I get this all the time. They're like, you have time to go somewhere else. And I tell people, yeah, I could go somewhere else, but the crews out by me are great. The other surrounding companies around me are great. I'm like, that's why I stayed out there. Nobody ever leaves somebody hanging. They're always there. Like, the people around us, and you're on my shift, Reggie. Like, people come and take their runs. If I'm sitting right next to you and they're sending you for one of my runs, I'm not just gonna let you take it. There are places that do.
I think the trifecta of West Side longevity in this specific order is partner, chief, hospital. And if those three things are there that work in your favor, you will take the beatings that the West Side gives you, because it's not bad to be out there when those three things work.
Yeah, and you know what? You're gonna have good runs. You learn the learning curve when you go out to the West Side. You're going to learn about 10 years of paramedicine in a short time, right? You're going to get to do everything. And that's why I like the pace. It's faster. My day goes by. When we get, sent to a sissy day, especially coming from the neighborhood that we work at, it's a long day, right? You don't realize
we got a story about this, man.
You guys went on a sissy day and you did 30 runs, right?
No, we just managed to do actual work and still kept it hard.
Detailed to ambulance 12.
Where the hell's that?
Exactly.
55th in Narragansett.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Engine 32's house.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we did some paramedic work that day. But then we were able to we did have some downtime, and what did we, 2 hours fucking smoking stogies out there?
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah. That was the first time that we actually finished stogies.
Mm-hmm.
Some deep conversation there too, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you guys gauge time now, is how much of the cigar you can get through. Let's go right to the day. I read the citation, and I just want to give a shout out to Chief Hernandez for coming through. As you guys are pulling up, he's texting me the citation, because I was like, hey, because you guys don't have a copy. Was that the first time you've heard the citation?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that that's the first time you guys heard your own citation? So I texted him yesterday, and I was like, hey, can you get me this? He's like, when's your podcast? And I told him. He's like, okay. I don't hear from him, and it's like, you guys are on your way in. I text him. I'm like, you got a copy of that citation? And he sends it to me. He's like, I almost forgot. So, and I told him I would speak well of him on the podcast. So thank you, Chief Hernandez, for that citation. This is overnight, right? Because you said that you had to wake him up.
Yeah. So at 2 a.m.
Oh, okay. So Ozzy's lights out.
Yeah, we were in quarters, and call came out for a battery victim.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're thinking, "What the fuck? This is stupid, right?"
Well, what beat is this? This is exactly what I'm thinking.
I mean, Steve, the battery victim at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're automatically calling bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes,
Yeah. No matter what the comments say, it's always, oh, this is nonsense.
here we go.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned real quickly, man. Where that happened, that incident happened. I got assigned to 77 in June of 2020. This happened in August 2020. So I had only been there for 2 months. Quickly did I learn that nothing good ever happens on 13th and Lawndale. Nothing. So now if I get another battery victim at 2 in the morning on 13th and Lawndale, yep.
And 13 Lawndale is almost my run.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a couple blocks from being my run.
Yeah.
So you get the call, you wake up your partner.
Yeah. I make it to the rig. I put his around, and then where's Chris?
So you were in the middle of missing the run.
I was in the middle of a dream. I'm sure. In the middle of something. To be fair, in the 2 years there, I never made a bed. I never slept. It was always I slept on the couch. So I mean, it wasn't. It's not. But yeah, I was sound asleep.
Yeah. So I put us en route, and then I go and get him up, and I mean, we didn't know what we were going to. We didn't know what was waiting for us.
It
And
just said battery victim.
yeah. And I go to wake up Chris, and we start walking back towards the ambulance together. And Chris says, "This better be effing good." Yeah, I swear. Yeah. So yeah, we
So you hit en route. Now you got your partner. He's like on autopilot right now, probably on his way. So in the citation it says you guys went to the wrong address.
yeah we got 2 wrong addresses.
Okay.
We got 1225. I remember this clearly. We got 1225 South Lawndale. It's an empty lot. We asked the alarm office for a better address, and there was a beat car right there already. They said check out 1224. So we had to go check out 1224, and there's a beat car coming out.
Now, other than being a battery, does it say like it's a male, female, like what?
Female.
Nothing. Oh, did
Just-
we get?
I remember,
we got.
yeah.
That's
It's
right.
just female.
Yep.
That's all it says.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we got the call for 1225 is unfounded. They said check out 1224 South Lawndale. Officers are coming out of that house, and they're like, no, I think it's related to that one on the corner on 13th and Lawndale. There's 2 more beat cars down there. So the one that was with us on the 1200 block, and then 2 more down there. So total of 3 units, 6 cops. And so we inched up because we were in the middle of the block. So we just went, to the end of the block, and it's right on the corner at 13th and Lawndale. As Chris pulled up, you can see a guy from the 3rd floor, naked. He's just yelling irate at the police, and it was all related to our call. So he had beat up his girlfriend, and but then he was like holding her hostage and wouldn't let the cops go upstairs. So when we pulled up, the building was on my side, and you could hear this guy just yelling, and he's throwing stuff down the 3rd floor, and he's throwing like furniture. So that the officers can't get into the building to make entry, because we're not there for him. We're there for his girlfriend. That's what we got called, the
Right.
battery, and
she's still in the building.
she's still in the building. Yeah,
and this guy's like basically, for all intents and purposes, barricaded himself in there.
her with and he's impeding CPD from getting into the building, and since it was on my side, the officer that ended up getting shot, he walked up to the ambulance, and I almost made it out the rig. I almost stepped out.
So would you say that if you made it out that you would have got shot?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
'Cause he got shot right where you would have been
Right
if
by
you
me,
walked out.
right next to me. He had his elbow on the mirror, on the rearview mirror of the ambulance, and he came up to us and he's like, "Hey, this is all related. It's this guy up on the 3rd floor. He's like, we can't make entry. We're trying to calm him down, and he won't let us." When all of a sudden you just start hearing pop, 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 pop.
Really?
Yeah.
And then the officer got shot right in front of you.
Yeah. I was like I said, it was on my side, shooting from the 3rd floor.
And Chris, you still in the driver's seat at this time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think if we would have, like, what do you do when you arrive on scene? You automatically get out the ambulance.
Right.
And this officer, I felt like he was stopping us from getting out the ambulance, but we didn't know. We had just gotten there, so
Yeah.
we don't even know what the hell's going on.
Well, and honestly, too, we didn't even know if this was our call.
Yeah.
So us pulling up and having him come up to give us a rundown,
You're
Like,
still trying to figure shit out.
Yeah,
at
we
this
were
time.
like, hey, is this what's going on here? We got a wrong address, but maybe this is what's happening.
And there's plenty of times out there when you're pulling up to a run and you're like, you're looking for somebody. You're like, I don't see them. And then you see a squad car and you're like, oh, okay. And you go over there and they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't call you. You know, you're like, okay. So there's like multiple things going on in the area. And you're just like, you know, you're just, because you see a squad car, you're like, well, maybe they know. Maybe they're here for the same thing. And it's a lot of, not a lot of times, but it's almost like a 50-50 shot. Like, no, we didn't call you. We're doing something else. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, plus the worst thing is if you don't want to leave the person that you were initially supposed to get at the original address.
Right.
And then you guys are in trouble.
Yeah.
Now you're on this run and you left somebody who's battered at the original address. So you got a lot going on. Like even before you get out for this incident, when the shooting started,
Yeah.
you hear the pops. Where did this officer get hit?
He was,
Right femur.
yeah, in
Right
his right thigh.
Really?
It hit his,
yeah.
since the rounds were coming from up on the third floor, it hit his cell phone, went through his cell phone, fractured his femur, and then he had a protruding bullet on the inner thigh.
No shit.
Yeah.
What was it? A handgun or a rifle that this guy was shooting out of the
No,
window?
it's probably a pistol. It was a pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so he goes down. Then what happens next?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris drive. Honest to God, man, I'll be real honest, man. I told Chris, let's go. Get off the block. And then that's when his heroic acts went into play. But I couldn't see what he was seeing. And I'll let Chris explain that because that's what he did. You know?
So the cop got shot right by your door. Does he go down to the ground?
yeah,
or
he
does
goes down.
Like,
He goes down and scrambles
for
under-
cover.
Yeah, he went for cover like by a car.
okay.
And I heard the rounds were coming my way, and I just like went over by like Chris. I whacked my arm on the MDT.
Well, there's a lot of shit in the way
Yeah.
between your seat and his seat. You got a huge computer.
Yeah.
You got the radio. You got all your personal, like how many drinks did you have in that cup holder?
At least
that you
6.
had?
You know,
Some
By
rigs
the
have like
time-
a spitter, you know,
Right.
a dip spitter in there.
Well, by 2:00 in the morning, you got whatever coffee was left over from the morning. You got your afternoon cocktail or energy drink, your spitter, God
Yeah.
knows what else in
the
there.
the
So-
shitty cup of coffee from Sinai.
Right.
If it was pizza day, you got at least 6 bottles of water filled
Yeah.
with sodium too. You know, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
A
stuff.
paper plate somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
leftover food.
Yeah.
So you're scrambling now. You're basically sitting on his lap at this point, huh?
yeah, I ain't lying. So you know the I grabbed the radio, the ambulance radio, and I called for a 10-1. And I said, you know what, they're shooting from the third floor, they're shooting at the police. And then I honestly told Chris, let's go, let's get off this block. There's nothing him and I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
just
what's the first thing that you learned from day one in paramedic school, EMT school, right?
scene safety.
Scene safety. So you guys were in harm's way.
Yeah,
So you know you're not wrong to do that.
Right.
You know if you left and staged down the block, you're not wrong.
no,
And that is basically what our protocols dictate for you guys to do.
right.
But you guys don't do that, do you?
No.
All right. And so in true Oswalt fashion,
Well, it's funny because you know it's interesting to hear what other people see from the same incident, because you see an officer get shot. I just hear shots and see him go down and thinking like maybe he's scrambling to get away like the other ones were. So when that started, another one of the officers was in front of the ambulance and was there. And then from my mirror, I could see, I think it was 4 others that had come to the driver's side to shield. So he's screaming, go, and jumping over. And we're still hearing shots, but I'm looking at an officer in front of us and like 4 on the side of the ambulance.
you don't
It's
want
like,
to
there's no
remove
way.
their cover
Yeah, there's
or
no
run
way.
the other guy over.
Right. So in that quick go moment, it's like we can't go. We're here. We're committed to this, and when this stops, we can go, or until they move further behind the parked cars that are on the street. And it happens fast.
So tell us what happens from there. So now Frankie's over in the driver's side. The cops are using you guys for cover. I mean, you're the biggest thing out there at this point, right? What happens next?
I can't remember if we told them we're going to go up. I don't know if we dropped the window and said we're going up, but I know that we saw them start to get behind the row of parked cars. And once the shooting had stopped, because we figured he'd emptied his clip, we started to inch down the road, and then we staged at the corner at Lawndale and Douglas. And then that's when the call came in that they had a person shot. So I just thought that
Did you know he was shot from your side of the?
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew he was shot, but you didn't.
I didn't. I had no idea, but I knew they were sending another ambulance.
Okay, who was coming?
80
Okay.
out of your house, and we're like, well, we're here. You know, like we're gonna take care of this. We circled the block again, shoot up Independence, and come back down 13th at 13th and Lawndale.
You guys were just doing a loop around.
Right.
Okay.
And in that time, they had thrown that officer in a squad car and taken him down south again to, Lawndale and Douglas. So it's almost like we had to do another full loop.
They brought him right where you guys were.
We're just were staging, yeah. And by the time we had gone back there, when they had sent 80 on that call, they had also sent engine 38. So we intercepted from them, canceled 80 from coming in because we got this, and we're able to take that officer.
Tourniquet or no?
No.
No.
It was pretty high up in his thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's crazy though, because like I just seen this guy get shot, you know, and I meet him again, and it's crazy. I was just talking to this guy. You know, he's giving me a rundown, very professional, you know, and now I gotta take care of his injuries. You know, it all happened so fast.
Shout out to the officer too. This is exactly the type of officer you want.
Yeah.
Was he one of the cool guys? Like, you know him from the neighborhood?
Yeah, he got along with everybody and just muscular as all get out, knows that he's got your back, and just kind, considerate, you know, just a good person, and can be there to help if you need it.
He's one of these guys out in our neighborhood that you have something shitty going on, you want to see this guy rolling up on you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, very professional. And I actually just asked about him not long ago, and he's still doing recovery, doing better. But they said, I think they said he was going to be out for a year.
Really?
I mean, it's a femur fracture. Yeah. We saw him a couple days afterwards. Our next work day, right, Chris? We went up to Sinai.
You were there. I wasn't there.
Oh, no. Yeah,
No,
it was-
I
it was-
didn't make it in.
Yeah, it was just me.
I was on a trade or something.
Yeah. I went up to the floor, check up on him. He had surgery. He
Yeah.
was getting ready to go home. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, collectively, I mean, 38. The guy's at 38. Raul was the medic that day. Boris, I don't know if you guys know him on the first shift.
Yeah.
Raul was the medic, and you know, the officers, they took off his belt. I mean, it was we all. You know,
Now, did they make the Blue Highway for you guys?
Didn't need it with me driving, bud.
I mean, I'm sure they trailed behind us. I don't know, or you know, or taking care of this guy, but
Well, you didn't have too far to go.
No.
You know.
no.
Now you guys leave with the officer. You guys trauma him to a trauma center. Do you guys know what was the outcome of this incident?
We did, yeah. The officers told us that they made entry into the building. I mean, this could have been like an active shooter type stuff, but yeah, they made entry up onto the third floor, and he basically surrendered, hands up. Police didn't shoot him. They just apprehended him and took him in. Then,
Did they return fire when
Nope.
this guy was shooting out the window? No.
Oh, no shots.
Really?
Not from them.
Nope.
And we just had an incident similar to this a couple weeks ago out in our area, right? Didn't they just have an active shooter where the guy was in the building maybe 2 weeks ago? Did we just have one?
I don't
No,
remember.
maybe you weren't there that day, but
Miraculously, the battered woman was never found.
really.
Yeah, you know what?
Nobody ever, that was never heard from again.
Well,
Felt like
you know,
maybe it wasn't that serious after all.
I guess not. You know, not all batteries turn out to be batteries.
That's a
right?
good
If
thing.
There's one thing you know, sometimes a verbal argument, you guys get called out for that, and it wound up just being two people yelling at each other, and it's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
What is my role here? That happens. you guys kind of go about your way. You guys have to debrief with the chief and everything like that. What was the process? Did you have to debrief with anybody? Did CPD come out and want to talk to you guys? What happened here? Because this is a unique situation that, we don't really find ourselves in. So procedure-wise, like, what happens in this incident? They want a statement from you guys, right?
CPD brass started rolling in before I think our chief came, but it was all CPD stuff, news stuff before, that was a big, like, officer shot protocol.
Did anybody from Media Affairs come out with you guys? And
not that I can recall.
No. The only one that came out from our side on the EMS side was Juan Hernandez.
We got we talked to the detectives.
He had the duty, right?
Yeah. And he came out, asked us how we were doing.
Good.
But mind you, there's a little bit more to that story, because we spoke to the detectives, just kind of gave them a rundown of what we had and what had happened with the officer, and then we cleaned up and went back in service.
So here's what always interests me, because it happens to me all the time. So you have this fucking horrific run. What is the very next run you go on?
Oh, we went on a STEMI.
Are you shitting me?
I swear to God.
So we
went back to STEMI.
When that machine spit that out, that says, were you guys looking at each other being like, what the fuck?
I think it's just just a chest pain or whatever that we are like, all right.
Yeah, it's not what the fuck until you put the monitor on, and then you're looking at your partner like, you gotta be kidding
I got
me
this
right
triple star on the monitor telling me STEMI. What's this? All right, we'll go back to Sinai.
Yeah. Chief Hernandez was there at Sinai. He talked to us, made sure we were okay. We're like, yeah, we're fine, Chief. And we're like, yeah, we already brought in a STEMI at like 5:15 in the morning. Yeah, I mean, we took our time. I took my time documenting the run. I didn't come up right away, because like I said, we had to talk to detectives. I had to make notifications to 457. And we got up in service. I think it was probably 4:30 in the morning. And most people would have just stayed, and not put themselves back up in service.
They would have rode it out till 6:30, yeah.
But we did, and we took care of a STEMI. another life saved in Lawndale.
Tell me it was your run.
It was.
Okay.
It was, yeah. It was in Lawndale.
All right.
And took care of that gentleman, and it was 6:15.
Oh, my God. How do you
go
guys,
home?
How do you
Go
guys,
home.
live with yourself playing God like that every day?
Yeah.
How do you... Well, Corey, you had something you wanted to talk to these guys about training?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have something I want to talk about.
Yes, we want to hear it.
You still got the horse?
Yep. 2, bro.
You got 2 horses?
This guy owns horses.
Well,
I brought him to the firehouse when I was at 99.
Did I ever show you when you were in the academy, the guys from Melrose
yeah,
Park
he rides the horses.
sent me a picture with you with the cowboy boots at the firehouse, and they're like, look out for this guy. Did I ever show you that picture?
Well,
Hold on. Tell us how you got the horse.
Give him a few pops and he'll dance like one. Hold on.
I know.
No, I mean, it's, I'm Mexican. It's in our culture, man.
Enough said.
All right, but I'm sorry. Vince has owned surfboards and you own horses. And it's, all right, sorry.
Yeah. Were you there the day I brought him to 99?
Yeah, bro, and I was taking pictures and everything. So it was like the one of the parades in Little Village,
The Mexican Independence
Day
weekend.
parade. Yeah, and so I ran into David Diaz, the guy that fought Pacquiao, which is hilarious because I run into this guy in Little Village, over in Belmont Cragen while I'm on the job, in another area while I'm on the job. He's like, "Are you following me?" I'm like, "I think you're following me, bro." But yeah, we were talking with David Diaz for a little while. He fought Manny Pacquiao, and then we get back to the firehouse, and we're just chilling, talking, BSing, and anybody who's been to that particular firehouse, it is one of the oldest firehouses in the city. It's super tiny. How they squeeze an engine and ammo in there, I have no clue, but they do. And so we're just kind of all sitting on the apparatus floor, and all of a sudden you just hear click clack, click clack, click clack, click clack, and I'm like, you're at the Mexican Independence Day parade, so there's a bunch of guys and horses, with the cowboy hats and boots and everything like that. And then so you're just thinking that they're rolling down 31st Street or whatever, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. And then I look up, I'm like, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's it's a tradition every year, man, that we do.
What kind of horse is it?
It's
Bro, this is where I'm trying to get him to tell us.
it's a purebred Andalusian horse from Spain.
Ooh, Andalusian.
Yeah, these are like
That sounds-
medieval time fucking horses,
Yeah,
bro.
it's the breed, when over in medieval times. It's
Yeah.
that breed of horses. Yeah, they're great temper, beautiful horses, and they're great for like dressage.
So
types.
they're riding horses, not work horses.
Yeah, they're like show horses. Yeah. I was able to.
It's kind of the difference between the PIC and the FPM on the on the ambulance. You
One's
know,
a
one-
workhorse,
one-
one's a show horse.
That's it.
Yeah, so I every year we go to the parade on 26th Street, and I think it's just as big as the what's the one on the south side over on King Drive.
Oh,
Bud Billiken.
Bud
Yes.
Billiken. Yeah, I think it's probably bigger than
Really?
Bud Billiken. Yeah, but probably like 200 floats, and you pay a ticket, and I just go with a group of guys, and we hire a band, a Mexican band, and then we're just with the horses. Yeah, my
So
kid
where do you
comes
keep these things, Frankie?
in Beecher. A family friend owns a farm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Beecher, Illinois.
Beecher. Yeah,
No shit.
yeah.
There's nothing in Beecher. It's so
horses.
except for two
Yeah.
horses at minimum.
Yeah.
No
It's-
kidding.
Yeah, family friend of ours, and it's
And
really
you guys like train these things. You guys,
yeah.
are there other horses there?
Yeah, yeah. The guy that our family friend that owns this place, he's got like 24 stalls, and he rents some of them out. Some of them are his horses.
You're a big fucking horse guy, Frank.
is it expensive to own a horse?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's. I mean, it's
It's
like,
like owning a boat, right?
yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
Dude,
It's
so-
like owning a Harley and tricking it out.
right,
Wow.
right. I was gonna say so because I'm an idiot. So I looked into it because my daughter's been getting crazy into horses.
You've
She's 6 years
really
old.
gone as far as to look at you're that serious
Just a
about
little
it?
bit. Just I mean,
side jobs.
I work a lot. But like I looked into it, I'm like the horse isn't expensive. It's like boarding the horse, taking care of the horse, having someone else take care of the horse, feeding the horse. Like it's like you can get a horse. What do you think a horse cuts you for?
It depends on the
Like,
breed.
like a
It
grand
depends.
or two, right? I mean, yeah, like
it
Like your
depends.
craftsman horse. They'll
I mean,
get
you get a quarter-mile horse for like $4,000.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a Buick. You know,
It's-
it's an '80s Buick
You
for
could
events.
you could buy a decent Harley for $4,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a quarter-mile horse, $4,000, or an Andalusian horse like mine with full papers.
I was just saying, you've got like
Yeah,
like this is like a breeding
pure-
horse almost, right?
Yeah. Mine is my stallion is a certified stallion.
Is this a college nickname or is this like your actual- It is
No.
a
What
stallion.
what are the horses' names?
Wait, hold on a second.
What are the horses' names?
We're talking about Vince, the certified stallion.
No, I mean I sell
College
studs.
nicknames.
I sell studs to be able. Yeah,
You're a big time horse guy, Frankie.
I mean this thing's got to pay for itself.
Has-
I'm just a
has he paid for
paramedic.
himself by now?
Yeah.
What's that fella's name?
what?
The horse that's out there making you buck that you're pimping.
It's Spanish for paramedic.
Which is
El médico.
that's your horse's
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
That's badass. Go with it. Own it.
That's one. What's the other?
The other one's a
El Nurso?
No. The other one is my old man's purebred Frisian horse from the Netherlands. All black. Those all black horses that they used to use like for like the knights in shining armor. That breed from the Netherlands. What's that?
All right, so let's take a break from Chicago's bravest equestrian stories, and we're gonna have a couple beers, refill, and we'll get back.
What kind of beers are we having?
Oh, Steven, I'm so happy you asked. We've got astronaut juice right here. Great college nickname from Illuminated Brew Works. These guys are awesome. Steve's mess buddy now. Brian's our guy, huh?
My best friend.
Oh, Brian, Steve's best friend. This guy killed it. Astronaut juice is awesome. We're gonna dig into 3 or 4, 9 of these other
When we
beers
come
here,
back.
too. When we come back.
Well, welcome back. We have refreshed our cocktails. I actually poured myself a glass of the astronaut juice from Illuminated Brew Works at 6186 Northwest Highway. And I got to tell you, that's a nice cocktail, Steve.
I mean, it is. I'm over here drinking the Trust Lager.
What does that taste like?
It tastes like a really good lager.
What do you got?
Fresh.
What do you got, Frankie?
If you're not into yoga,
And here on the table we have peanut butter pony, rainbow berry pie. This one's for you, creeper, and orange sunshine. We're gonna get to them all, and thank you again, Brian, for the charitable donation. If you want to try any of this stuff, and I highly recommend, at the very least, because it's the only one I got to so far, the astronaut juice, friggin' delicious.
And they're all 1 pint cans. The artwork on them sells them themselves. I think you know who's gonna like that rainbow berry pie is them your mom's basements guys.
Oh, they're gonna
dig that.
You can get this at ibw-chicago.com. Illuminated Brew Works, thanks again. This episode is also sponsored by Rescue One CBD oil. You can use the promo code Bravest to get 25% off. You can find them at omnianaturals.com. And this is a product that you guys have listened to the show. We've highly recommended this product, and you guys have come out in droves, and hopefully you guys are getting the results that everybody else has been getting back to me on. I used the roll-on. I tweaked my back a little bit about a month ago, and it's been sitting on my table right when I walk into my house, and I've just been passing it up. It's been sitting there for so long, I didn't even think about it. And I was using it right when I get up. Tell you what, that CBD oil, that roll-on, it's kind of like a menthol. It worked wonders for me.
And you know, this isn't like cheaply manufactured garbage either. This is highly filtered, 0.000% THC. The guy stands by his product so much he puts a drug test.
Yeah, and he puts
in the packaging.
A QRS code on there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and you could follow online the lab tests.
The lab. You can follow the batch that you're using, and you know exactly what it is that you're putting on.
It's
your body.
THC, broad spectrum CBD oil. You know, you need a little help sleeping, or you know, take the edge off of that long lasting knee pain.
Yeah, you were up to 4 droppers. And you were lights out. You know, I've been messing around with how much I've been using to sleep, and for me, 2 droppers, it's the perfect dose. I get, you know, I lay down in bed, and I was telling Steve, I'm like, it's like somebody's putting a blanket on me all the way up to my chin and tucking me in. It's nice to be able to get some sleep, especially with us. Our schedules are so messed up, and any little bit helps, even if it's an hour. There are times when we're working, like you two know, get an hour of sleep. If you get to the firehouse and you can sleep for an hour, that's a win, right? So consider Rescue One CBD oil. Put in the code Bravest, and you'll receive 25% off. And 25% off is super generous from these guys at Rescue One. OmniaNaturals.com. So let's get back to you guys. I know that we've talked about the incident with you guys over the summer, and we've talked a lot about PTSD and mental health for first responders. That's kind of been a theme of ours throughout a good chunk of our podcast. And I know something like what you guys went through, you had bullets, you know, flying by your head, and you had a police officer go down right in front of you. Frankie, I know that you've had some issues, and, you know, tell us about, like, what's going on with you and how you're dealing with it, how it's affecting you.
I mean, anytime I get called in on 13th and Lawndale,
Yeah.
nothing good happens on 13th and Lawndale. I mean, honestly.
Does your stomach, like, you get a pit in your stomach when you get called to that area?
Yeah. And it's a known corner right there on 13th and Lawndale. Just recently, a couple weeks ago, the feds were out there. They did a sweep out there. Yeah, I mean, I nothing good happens on 13th and Lawndale. That's all I could say. But, you know, going on these calls now, honest to God, my guard was down that day. I never thought that that's what the outcome was going to be. I thought it was a routine call, going to get it over and done with, either handled by police or we were going to transport somebody to the hospital, but never did I think that we were going to be, you know, caught in the middle of a crossfire and, you know, be involved in this situation. I'm glad that it turned out for the best for everyone, but it had every ingredient for it to go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you haven't had like issues sleeping from it or any like the classic signs of like your PTSD because of this?
Yeah. I've been to that corner multiple times ever since. You know, we go often there on the intersection. Every time I go, I look up on the ticket, something that I really don't do.
Yeah.
I really don't like to look up the police ticket. I don't like to see what, you know what I'm saying? I usually go by the details that we get. That's enough for me to figure out what we're walking into. But, you know, every time I go there on that intersection, I always look up the CPD ticket, see if I got a company coming with me. That also helps out. But other areas of Lawndale, you know, when we go into like these quarter types buildings, and we go for the second floor or whatever, I'm always looking up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's affecting your daily operations, especially when you're at work. Like things have changed for you since this.
Yeah, I don't, you know, like I said, this was a routine battery victim call at 2 a.m. I don't take them lightly anymore. You can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be sharp. Even at 2 a.m. when let's say we've had some downtime and we've been sleeping, you get woken up for this type of call. You got to be sharp, man, because look at the situation we ended up being involved in. And
what about you, Ozzy? Anything? How's this affected you?
You know, I mean,
so far so good.
so far so good. I got a little jittery after it because we were still out there and driving by. You just kind of, I mean, you're always taking a couple glances down the road, but I think more than anything, you just kind of have a heightened sense of suspicion. With a lot of this
I think
stuff.
your change of scenery since you crossed over helped.
It did.
You know,
it did.
You know, Frankie's back. You're not going to get away from 13th and Lawndale from where you're at.
That's home.
Yeah, that's that center for you, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
so,
But, you know, I mean, the thing is, like, I find that I play out potential scenarios in my head a lot with, you know, like, what could happen now and what would I do? You know, and like, how shitty could this get? How quickly and what still needs to be done. I mean, even as simple as, I mean, where I'm at now, we get a lot of stuff on the expressway. And, I mean, you're watching for other cars and, you know, I'm thinking like, well, what if there's another accident right now and just running through triage and getting everybody
think
the
about how
help they
many
need.
shootings we've had on the highway recently.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's a thing now.
That's a fun Chicago thing now. But, you know, it's just being ready for the next thing to happen is kind of what that's led me to, as opposed to just walking into everything kind of blind.
Yeah.
It's just a better size up and just preparation. Nothing specific, but just an awareness.
Think it's time for Corey to step in here.
You know, and just to bounce back to you, Chris. Like I know that we're always kind of talking about PTSD, or we always kind of stumble on PTSD on our thing. But I mean, I think that's a really good point that you brought up. Was that whole, you know, you definitely hear about bad after effects, but like, I mean, there's something to be said for you being where you're at now and like having that heightened sense of awareness relative to like maybe guys that have been there for 20, 30 years, not really thinking about the things that you might be thinking of now after this incident, which is pretty wild. So,
This is
Lighten
your
up a little
this is
bit.
your segue.
uh,
The king of the segue here.
yeah, Frank, you're at the end, but Christy. So, do you guys have? My biggest thing is what is the firehouse prank of the day sort of thing, and like, what can you give me a good prank that you've been a part of, or had some hand in, or got pranked on personally?
the EMS pranks differ from the fire pranks. Yeah. You know, your home is your ambulance. And so, I mean, there's a few things you can do with that ambulance.
There's one way to make it real personal.
Yeah, your ambulance gets left unattended. It's like you left your front door of your house unlocked. And so, you know, when you do that, you invite trouble. The easiest, fastest way to do that, right? We got together for another thing as a part of this award that they're going to roll out for EMS week, and they brought ambulance 77 down, and they wanted some promo shots, and I hopped in, and before Frankie had a chance to get in, I just changed all the presets on the radio. Just minor annoyances, and they were kindly set to all the Hispanic radio stations.
And he thought that he was busting my balls. I was rocking out Frankie's. That's my jam, man.
All 5 presets, same station. He's just like, you just did me a favor. So I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know.
I was just saying, and you've been around for a little bit. I feel like there's definitely been some. I don't know. I mean, what's some of the stuff that you kind of? I mean, did you get hammered when you first started, Vinny? Like when you
with pranks
as a paramedic? Yeah, on the ambo.
I don't think. Well, when I first got introduced to certain pranks, it was as a paramedic student, watching the guys who were full time hired on, who I was doing my ride time with, the lubricating gel for your ET tubes and stuff like that would be under the door handles and stuff. That was a go-to that this one guy who I rode with, he loved doing that for some reason.
You know, it's funny because like if you tell that story, someone's like, "That's hilarious," but like for you in that moment, you're like, "Yeah, that's his fucking thing." Like he likes to put fucking lubricant on. Likes to put a nice water-based lubricant on my fucking door handle.
Well, that was one, and then my favorite of all time is the baby powder in the air vent. So you turn the rig off.
Yeah.
You put the baby powder in the air vent, and you turn the fan on high and put it on vent. So when they start it off, it is the poof. And I got to see that one firsthand, and I thought that was genius because I was like standing kind of on the side of and we're all standing there waiting for these guys to turn on the rig. And
did you know it was coming down?
Okay. Hey, I was the student. I was being proctored in this at the time, and their windows were only rolled down just a little bit. Oh. So when they started off, you just see
heavy thinking going to this thing right before it goes down.
You just see this puff of smoke come out that little slit, and that was my introduction to pranks in the fire service.
There was a certain hospital when I worked on the private ambulance company. I just had full access to the Pyxis. And I was a big D50 on the windshield guy.
Oh, my God.
Big D50 on the windshield guy.
What does that do?
What do you mean, what does it do?
Just you just can't wipe it off? Or what?
You cannot wipe it off.
No?
I got in trouble like twice over it, too. Which is like my percentage of getting caught. And how many times I've actually done it.
You feel real good no matter how many times.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing the ratio, and I didn't get fired. I was doing good.
Oh, plus, God, I couldn't, like, July, too. Like, oh, why the fuck are there fucking bees all over my windshield? And, like, you just get in there, you can't fucking do it. Oh, God.
It was more like, they were taking a transport from, like, a very north hospital to a very south hospital.
And your windshield wipers and the fluid does not take it off?
No. I mean, not enough to, So, right. Yeah, that was my
So it's just like
jam.
looking through your grandpa's glasses the whole drive.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah. And you know what?
Good analogy.
Listen, somebody only did it once to me, which was like I didn't know about it. And then they did it to me, and I was just like, I went fucking crazy with it.
Frankie, I almost want to talk to you. This is going to be really weird here in this one because asking you pranks that you've heard of is just going to take me down memory lanes. I feel like I've heard a lot of these similar ones, but
he's a prankster, huh?
Oh, I don't know if Frankie is.
I'm not.
No?
No.
Not your thing. All right.
No, I'm
This is going to be
Super chill
This is
guy,
going to be
man.
a way longer segment than it should be. But all right, so Frankie, what are the best ones that you have heard of? You weren't even there for them, but you've heard of some good ones, I'm sure.
Oh fuck! I have witnessed them, man.
Yeah?
The fucking.
Give us the top one.
I want to send a shout out to Frankie Palermo. I don't know if you know him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I heard of him.
Frankie Palermo over at Melrose Park Fire Department. First time I fucking went to go take a shower at the firehouse. Yeah, I think I had just finished working out over there. We had some downtime,
Yeah.
and you know, it'd been a few months. I already had been there over at Melrose, and those guys are fucking huge pranksters,
Oh
man.
my God.
Those are that's where my stories are from.
Yeah.
Right.
Over there from Melrose.
They put in the work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. It's amazing what they'll put in the work on.
Long Jack.
Oh, I mean,
Fuck,
yeah.
man, dude.
Yeah, there were some deep ones. I mean,
So,
I think guys retired thinking that they had a 4-year-old kid in New Mexico. Like that's the kind of pranks that these guys were pulling on each other.
my first
Yeah.
day there, I got waterboarded. That's fucking classic.
He's not even joking. He's
Yeah.
legitimately got
I
one more, bro.
I got the fucking waterboard, but that wasn't that bad. Honestly,
Hold on. So
There's something worse than
let's-
being waterboarded on your first
Let's
day.
break this down. So
The CIA stopped waterboarding. So how could something be worse?
Because it's not that bad.
and this is 10 years later.
Is this something you really want to talk about?
no, seriously, man.
How'd this go down?
I fucking worked out,
Yeah.
and afterwards, I'm all sweaty. Take a shower at the firehouse, and I fucking go. I put on some
Shower
shampoo.
cap?
Yeah,
Oh.
no. I'm taking a shower, and I put on some shampoo. Oh, whatever. I'm rinsing it down, and it just doesn't stop.
Oh, I've seen this video.
The never-ending shampoo.
That's a good one.
That
Yes.
is a good one.
Frankie Palermo and some of the other guys at Melrose poured a whole bottle of shampoo.
Of Suave for Men just
Yes.
all over my
Oh,
phone.
I'm like, Jesus,
Were you
man,
freaking out? Were you like, what the fuck?
But what kind of concentration's in this damn shot?
After 47 minutes in the shower, I'm like, something's not right.
But okay, you would have thought at some point somebody would have laughed. But these guys are stealthy, man.
Stone-faced.
Yeah,
So-
they're just.
How long did this go on?
I couldn't even open my eyes. I wish I could have been able to open my eyes and see who was doing this stuff to me. But yeah, they dumped a whole bottle of shampoo on me.
As far as you know, just one.
I
mean, who
probably
knows?
was
Could be right.
But I was like, man, oh God, I'm not.
That's a nice one. I
Yeah.
like that one.
That is a nice one.
All right.
Um,
So, what are some ones that you've heard of? Because I can't even remember some of the great ones that were from there, but there were some solid ones. I remember I heard there was or I was around for a couple of them. I was around for the IV tubing. That was a standard, like doing the IV tubing through the drop ceiling, like onto someone's forehead.
The,
Similarly to torture.
The Chinese water torture?
Yeah, well, I can't say that, but yeah.
You can't.
the cinnamon challenge.
Oh yeah, what was that? Was a big one, right?
Oh God,
Yeah.
I did that one.
You did that?
Oh yeah. Oh God.
How'd that turn out?
Like a week later, I was still tasting cinnamon in my nose.
We had an order that came out that was like, you are not allowed to do the cinnamon challenge on duty at one of my former employers.
But honestly, if you ask, like, I was naive. I was brand new into the fire service, and you got to do this to
You
be
did
in.
what you were told.
Yeah.
And those guys did a nice job of
Yeah.
kind of prepping you on how bad it could get.
Just
I
a
think.
scoop of cinnamon. That's it.
Seems harmless.
Yeah. Yeah. You do it, and a week later, I still taste cinnamon in my
Well,
nostrils.
it could be. Yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the good ones.
Well, what about the jokesters in Michigan? What you got some good ones over there?
Similar with the IV tubing. If you got some time, and any apparatus will work, but you can run the bag behind the pedal, brake, or gas, and then feed it up through the A-frame trim and up over the visor. So when it gets pushed,
Wow.
you'll get.
There's some
soaked.
like engineering and
Yeah.
behind that one.
That's it's time consuming, but worth it.
Well, we got Corey got his segment in. Any last thoughts? You got any last thoughts there, Steve?
I'm just glad my guy didn't get shot.
I'm glad he didn't get shot too.
I'm not happy the cop got shot. I'm just glad my guy didn't get shot.
He's
man.
doing well. By all accounts, he's doing well. He'll be back out there backing us up at some point.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you guys coming in on short notice. And any last thoughts there, Frankie?
I mean, thank you for having us. Thanks for the
Say the name of that beer again.
Illuminati Brew Works. Thank you for the if you're not into yoga. Good stuff. I mean, 13% alcohol.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention
geez.
that.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Because, like, why?
Thanks for your ability to do that while laying on the ground.
Good thing I'm on furlough.
Yeah. What about you, Ozzy? Any last words?
Yeah, man, this is definitely showing us that it's not just you and your partner. It's a group. You know, police involved, other companies involved. You know, everybody working together to make sure everybody is safe and doing the right thing. So
Yeah, we've talked about that on another podcast, that we are very fortunate that our relationship on the fire department is good for the most part with the police department. We work really good together, especially out in our area. And it's not like that. Like New York, I know those two departments like clash all the time. So we're very lucky. We bend over backwards for those guys. How many times do you see these guys on the street? Hey, stop by for coffee, or stop by if you guys are getting hungry. We do that all the time, and those guys always have my back out there. So I'm appreciative to those guys. But more importantly, thank you guys again for coming in. We really appreciate you. Steve, you want to close it out with business?
Yeah, we really appreciate everybody that's been listening to our podcast. We've had over the last 30-plus episodes, we've had like 70,000 downloads. And so if you're out there listening on whatever your favorite podcasting platform is, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss an episode. Visit us at www.chicagosbravest.com, www.chicagosbraveststories.com. If you want to help and support the podcast, pick some merchandise up from the podcast store. To those of you out there that have been ordering merchandise, we're having a little problems with the post office, just like everybody else. But I assure you, those orders are getting out ASAP. All the products in the podcast store help support the production of this show, which is your show, 100% free of charge. We provide to you guys. So grab a T-shirt, challenge coin, sticker, pint glass, so you can drink this wonderful Illuminated Brewing Company beer out of. And yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. Give us a shout out. Hashtag Chicago's Bravest with your T-shirts. Come on, ladies.
Okay, well that was
and throw us some reviews.
Yeah,
throw Vinny a shot. Say, hey, I'd give 4 stars, but
If I
that
can give
Vinny.
any advice to any woman, do not throw Vinny a shot by any means.
What was his college nickname?
He's got a new one every episode.
all right. Well, hashtag ouch. And, with that.
Hashtag astronaut juice.
Well, thanks again for listening. Chicago's Bravest Stories. Thanks again.
The opinions and views are that of Chicago's Bravest Stories podcast and their guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any municipal governments, fire protection districts, fire departments, EMS, or law enforcement organizations.